Hi, I'm Sarah, and today in the Copper and Clothes kitchen, we are going to be making Traybakes. You guys all know how much I love my oven. So today I'm going to be taking you through two specific Traybakes, but hopefully giving you the ideas and tools to be able to make your own Traybake that's delicious and tasty out of anything you have in your fridge. So this can be a real kind of use up what's in your fridge dish. The first things that we need to have a good Traybake are some vegetables which will roast up nicely in the oven. So here I have a bunch of root vegetables, so some really nice beetroots, carrots, sweet potato, and some onion and garlic. On this side, I have more fresh Mediterranean style vegetables like cherry tomatoes, red capsicum, these gorgeous brinjal which I got from in my farm box, and again onion and garlic. So if you're making a Traybake, you need things which are going to roughly cook at the same time, which is why I've kind of separated them into roots and then your fresher Mediterranean vegetables. The other thing that's going to make your Traybake delicious is some kind of oil. So I've got some really nice olive oil, some flavors, which here I've got some spices, so some fennel seeds and some coriander seeds. You could of course use jeera seeds. I've got salt and pepper, I've got more garlic, and I've got like citrusy fruits and herbs, and then nuts and seeds, which we're going to use more at the end to kind of finish off the dish. Okay, so let's start with this Mediterranean style one. So as you can see, I've cut the vegetables up into smaller pieces and removed all the seeds. So I'm going to start by just putting a bit of oil in the bottom, and now adding in my vegetables that I've cut up nicely. So these can get all mixed up. Don't want to overcrowd the pan. So the roasting tin, depending on your size, is going to dictate how much you can put in there. If it's too overcrowded, they're never going to roast up. They're going to release a lot of liquid while they're cooking, and they're just going to become a full stew. So we want them to get a little bit of caramelization and roasting. So what we're going to do is kind of try and mix them up evenly. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt, some pepper. In this case, I think I'm going to add like a nice big pinch of fennel seeds, which they're going to roast with. Fennel seeds have a nice like fresh lemony flavor, and this is going to be a really nice fresh dish. I'm also going to squeeze a little bit of lemon, and actually, why not? I'm just going to shove a few lemon slices actually in there as well. So we can remove them at the end, but they'll release a lot of their juices during the cooking process. And I'm just going to shove some whole garlic cloves in here. So these, I haven't even peeled them. While they're cooking, while it's roasting, they'll just cook nicely in their skins. And at the end, they'll just become very soft, and you can just pop that garlic out into there. So this is, as this now is, it's all mixed up. And I'm going to pop this into the oven, and that will cook just like that. Okay, so another option of a Traybake that you could make is with root vegetables. What you can do is cut these root vegetables into equal sized pieces so that they cook at the same time. So I just scrubbed the skin. I kept the skin on because there's loads of good nutrition in the skin. So I just scrubbed the skin, chopped them up into roughly equal sized pieces, and I popped them into the oven for about 45 minutes. Here we go. So this one, I talked about flavoring earlier. So as you can see there, everything's nicely roasted, and you've got some really nice caramelization on some of the pieces. And I flavored it with a lot of garlic cloves, salt and pepper, and some coriander seeds, dhania seeds. And it is, that garlicky flavors really come through. And I got a little tang from the coriander seeds. So good. But to finish this dish off, we have to add a little bit more to it. One of the first things I'm going to do is stir through some fresh coriander. I'm going to add a little bit more salt, pepper. And another thing that you can do if you want to make it a little bit more substantial is stir through some cooked grain. So whether that's brown rice, millet, or quinoa. Here I've got a little bit of cooked millet that I'm just going to stir through. Okay, so I'm just going to mix this up evenly. And then I'm going to add another bit of flavor through adding a dressing. So I'm going to take my measuring spoon and I'm going to add a couple of teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to drizzle over the top. And I have a little cider vinegar, which is just going to give it a nice tang. So I'm probably only going to add a teaspoon of that. You could also drizzle it with a little honey. You could put your favorite spice powder over it. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper because I love spice. Chili flakes would be brilliant, or even sliced fresh chili at this point. And then finally we can top it with something really crunchy. So I've here got some hemp seeds, which will give it a nice nutty flavor. And I've also got some crushed toasted cashews, which I'm just going to sprinkle over the top. And finish with a final garnish of coriander seeds. You could use coriander leaves. You could add any kind of herb, fresh herb leaf. If you wanted to make it more salady, you could put fresh arugula leaves on the top and again drizzle it with olive oil. But that is one tray bake ready to go on the table or packed up for lunch. Okay, so to recap how to make the perfect tray bake. So you've got to start with your vegetables, which you're going to roast. So try and group vegetables together which cook at roughly the same pace and cut them into equal sized pieces. Mix them all together with some olive oil, and then you want to add your flavorings. So flavorings can be obviously salt and pepper, maybe a squeeze of lemon, lots and lots of garlic if you like garlic like me, and some spices, any kind of seed, like fennel seeds, coriander seeds, jeera seeds. They're all perfect for roasting. So just get all your flavors in there and toss it all up with your olive oil, and then put it in the oven at around 180 or 200. And for your softer vegetables, it's going to take less time. For your root vegetables, it's going to take a little bit of more time. You just need to keep an eye on it in the oven. It will take between 30 to 45 minutes for everything to be cooked nicely. Then once you've brought it out, you want to add a little bit more flavor by adding a dressing. So at this point, I would add more extra virgin olive oil, and I'd add a kick of flavor through something like cider vinegar or some citrus. I'd add a bit more salt and pepper at this time and just toss it all through with those cooking juices. That will make a really nice dressing. Then finally, we're going to add our toppings. At this point, you could add some cooked grain, like I've got some millet here, quinoa, pearl barley, brown rice, anything, that just to stir it through to make it more substantial. Get some fresh herbs, like I've got mint here, we used coriander in the last dish. You could use any kind of fresh dill, basil, or even rosemary and thyme if you can get it, and just chop that up and stir it through. And then finally top it with something crunchy, so either some nuts like these cashew nuts, but almonds, walnuts, or seeds like these hemp seeds, or pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds would be perfect. So just get them nice and toasted and just shove them on the top. And then you've got it. You can just mix everything a little bit through, and then you can serve that on the table either as a side to a broader feast or as a standalone salad that you could pack and take to work for lunch maybe. So now you have the formula to make your own tray bake. So when you try this at home, make sure that you tag Copper and Cloves in your creation, and we will write to you and we'll get the recipe from you, and we will feature our favorite tray bake on our next video. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Copper and Cloves, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.